Easy people, welcome back to my channel at Big Steve MCFC. Thought I'd do a quick stream talking about last night's game in the USA. Manchester City 3, Al Hilal 4. What a crazy game it was. First of all, that is the reason my eyes are like piss holes in the snow. 5 a.m. I think I got to bed. It was boiling, couldn't sleep. So today's been a nightmare. Big up to everybody that was out there in the USA supporting the boys. Big up to everybody that got up in the morning and watched it at home. But yeah, let's get into it. I've just done a stream on the We Are the South stand with the lads. They've all been talking about it there, but I just thought I need to speak about my experience of it. I thought the first half, we didn't play too badly. I thought we were on the front foot. Rodri, Reijnders in midfield were looking good. Ait Nouri, Doku on the left were looking sharp. Savinho getting a lot of the ball, not really doing too much about it. Haaland was getting involved in the play. We've said it last few games. Erling's now getting involved. There's a bit of space for him. And, you know, we didn't look too bad. You know what I mean? We got our noses in front, bit of a scrappy goal. Al Hilal were going crazy, wanting the handball. Great ball by Reijnders, flicks it in the gap. Nouri off his arm and then cuts it across, bit of a bobble and goal. I thought we could have been 2 or 3 up first half. I thought that Al Hilal sat back deep. I didn't think they knew how to really cope with City's pressure and the press. I felt like Jeremy Doku has had a new lease of life on the left. I feel like he's always looking to do something, always on the front foot. When it's not going his way now, he's got an option in Ait Nouri. You know what I mean? He can lay it off there. Reijnders is coming over that side. So that little triangle over on the left, for me, was working well. Savinho on the right. I mean, last game against Juventus, he scored a screamer. Looked like he's enjoying his football. I thought last night he was a little bit no cutting edge. He was running into a few dead ends. He was coming back inside. There was no sort of end product with him. So yeah, it was a little bit disappointing. So our time we go in at 1-0 and we're happy with that. They come out the second half. Al Hilal straight away, they're on the front foot and they equalise. A lot of people looking at Ederson's performance yesterday. Could it have been better? 100%. Did he make some mistakes? Yes. The last game against Juventus, he did make some mistakes again. But, you know, we can't all be piling in on the goalkeeper all the time. You know, he makes mistakes. Goalkeepers make mistakes. He saved us many a time, you know what I mean? It was disappointing last night, you know, because of the way we lost it. But for me, it's not all on the goalkeeper. But I've got to give a bit of credit to Al Hilal. What they did do second half, they sussed it out. They realised that Manchester City are susceptible to the long ball over the top. When you've got runners like Malcolm and Leonardo, and you've got Ruben Diaz, and especially Akanji and Ake when they came on, obviously they took off Gvardiol and Nunes. He brought on 2 of the old guard in Akanji and Ake, whereas obviously hindsight's a beautiful thing, but with Kuzanov's pace, might have been a game to put Kuzanov on that side just to make sure we had a bit of cover. Then Al Hilal thought, you know what, we've got him here with a long ball. The ball through the defence from Cancelo, split us wide open. Malcolm runs through, scores again. We had one just before that where Ruben Diaz got burnt for pace. He brings Malcolm down in the box, but he was just offside. So every time they went on the counter-attack, they looked like scoring. But we had chances at the other end. Obviously, he brings on Foden and Cherki. Got to say a special mention for Cherki. I think every time he's come on in this tournament, he's looked outstanding. He's looked quality. And I feel like he's finally getting the best out of Foden. I think that little link up between them two is something we got to watch. I think it's going to be special. I feel like Phil is finally getting the ball in the spaces that he wants. The goal that City scored from Foden, the long ball from Cherki, was an absolute outstanding pass and goal, and the finish wasn't easy too. Before that, Big Earl had scored, got us back in the game, and we should have won it. You know what I mean? Erling Haaland had the kick off the line. They went to the monitor and seen that. But we found ourselves at 3-3 in extra time, thinking, the game's going to go to penalties. And to be honest, after the second half, we probably would have took that. On paper, they've had, 3 big chances, 4 big chances, scored them all. We've had, 10 or 15 chances, and we just couldn't get it over the line. I mean, the positives from the game are there to see. Roll back a month or two, we get beat off Crystal Palace in the FA Cup. We're all coming on here depressed. We're absolutely fuming at the manner of defeat at Wembley against Palace. Side to side, left to right, Diaz into Akanji to Gvardio to Doku to Gundogan to Haaland, blocked, comes back. It was very, very boring and predictable. One thing you can say now with this City team and the lineup is it's definitely not boring and it's definitely not predictable. Rodri coming back into the team is massive. Just getting the ball from Ederson, turning on the sixpence, going forward. Reijnders gliding about the pitch, one-touch football, getting involved in the attacks, dropping deep when we need to. You've got the link-up on the left that's talking about Ait Nouri and Doku, Savinho, Haaland looking very, very dangerous. So you've got Cherki and Foden coming off the bench. Plenty of long shots, plenty of intricate football, a lot of little back heels and stuff like that. So going forward, midfield and attack, I feel like we're totally different than last season. It's looking very fresh. It's looking like goals can come from any angle. So I'm happy with that. But when he takes off Guardiola and Núñez, brings on an Akanji and an Ake, and you've got this back four now, shall we say, of Akanji, Ake, Diaz, and Ait Nouri, it just looked disjointed to me. I mean, one thing with Nouri is he's a great, great attacker. Very, very tricky, great stuff. But last night, we've seen the flaws in him. A lot of people from Wolves said, great player going forward, terrible defender. I mean, I won't say he's terrible, but he doesn't like it. You could see last night, we were in no man's land a few times, you know what I mean? And you got Jeremy over on that side. He's not going to help him either. And then over on the right-hand side, we had Núñez. It wasn't working. He's got a Kanji over there. Didn't quite do okay. They spotted the gap with Diaz. They were bending that ball around Ruben Diaz. He looked like he was going to get sent off several times, Ruben, because they was letting the attacker get goal side of him. So Al Hilal caused us problems. I thought Ruben Neves was outstanding for them. Still got it. Great player. I thought Milenkovic-Savic in the midfield was bossing it for them. And like you say, Malcolm was a real handful. Him and Leonardo up front were a real, real handful. João Cancelo had a point to prove. Do you know what I mean? Against his former team. Steady away. And I thought we were unlucky not to win the game, but I thought they deserved it near the end. They put it on us a little bit more. They gambled a bit. They came out second half and went toe-to-toe with us, where first half they sort of sat behind the back of five thinking, I thought City were going to wipe the floor with them. I'll be honest with you. I honestly thought City were going to, after that first half, I thought we didn't look troubled. We're going to canter this 2 or 3-0. So I've got to give Inzaghi credit and I've got to give Hilal credit for coming out and having a go. I thought Savinho was probably on the pitch 30 minutes too long. I felt like he offered very, very little. I thought Cherki could have come on for him on that right-hand side. I mean, Cherki, I said it before, the first few games he's played, he's been outstanding. He's always looking to create something. Premier League, Wolves' first game of the season, he's got to be up there for a start. You know what I mean? And it's going to be very intriguing to see what team he puts out in that first game against Wolves. Foden and Cherki have been balling. Doku's been okay. Haaland up front. But then we also played Mamouche up front the other day, who also looked like it worked. So I think Pep's got a bit of an headache, you know what I mean, to see where everybody fits in. I think Rodri, if he's fit, he starts. Reijnders, if he's fit, he starts. It's just who partners him in there. Does he go with Cherki as a 10? Does he keep Bernardo in there for the energy? Does he play Cherki out on the right? Is he going to go with Savinho on the right? Does Doku keep it on the left? Is Foden going to come in on the right? Is Foden going to come in on the left? Is Mamouche going to start up front? Is Haaland going to start up front? The back four? You know, is it going to be Diaz Guardiola, which we've all almost certainly thought that was the partnership? I don't know. I don't know. Do we sign any more players? The right back is talked about. Is that what we need? Goalkeeper situation. Ederson coming out saying he's staying. People are now getting on his case. Does City pull the trigger on a goalkeeper? I don't know. But there's one thing for certain, Blues. There's a lot of transfers that are going to have to be made. Outgoings. Do you know what I mean? Jack Grealish is finished. Calvin Phillips is finished. I think Mcfc, we all agree, is going to be sold. They're talking about a Rico Lewis new contract today, which if that gets pulled off, that's come out of left field for me because I didn't think he was going to get one. I thought he could possibly be sold. Stones, Akanji, Ake. I think one of them's got to go because of the Reyes and Cousinov behind him. I think one of them three's got to go. It's all right coming out Stonesy and saying he wants to stay, but it's just the fitness. I mean, John Stones is a legend. He's an icon at Man City. We love him, but we need him fit. We can't just give people contracts and sit them on the bench or just have him in the treatment room. He's no good to us, you know what I mean? We've got to win the Premier League. We've got to win the Champions League. We need players that are fit. And at the minute, Stonesy and Ake and Akanji have all been niggles. You've got Kovacic, who's on the treatment table. Obviously, he won't be sold while he's injured. And then there's that Galatasaray sniffing around Ilkay Gundogan. But Ilkay's getting a game. You know, we just spoke about the elephant in the room on the south stand. Nico Gonzalez. We've gone out and bought a midfielder in January. And 33, 34-year-old Ilkay Gundogan is being preferred than Nico Gonzalez. So this is kind of a worrying thing for me. As Pep dropped another clanger, like Nunes, when he said he bought him for midfield, but he's not clever enough, and Calvin Phillips, where he realised he wasn't good enough, has he bought Nico Gonzalez and realised he's not that guy? Because, you know, it's an expensive flop. There's three players there, Nunes, Phillips, Gonzalez, who are not particularly contributing to the team. I know Nunes is playing right back, but I mean in midfield. We've got Nico O'Reilly, who Pep said he's not a left back. So where does he stay in the team? Where does he go? You know, is he going to get a chance in midfield? I don't know if he's going to play him there. So I think Pep's got a lot of thinking to do. I think Pep's got a bit of an headache. You know what I mean? Next couple of weeks are going to be important. He's got conversations to be had with players. He's got to trim that squad down a little bit, and he's got to find the system and the formation to start Wolves. And I think this season we've got to start well. We've got to start this Premier League season well. We cannot let it slip. We need all the fans and the players all on the same page. You know that this football club starts to move when we're all on the same page. We can't be going into a season panicking about, oh, he's going to play him. We need these defenders, get rid of him, all falling out over it. We need to be on the same page together. It's a new season, new start. Wolves away. We've got to hit the ground running and get the wins. And this is why I'm taking the positives out of this World Club Cup. Okay, we're out. We've earned 60 million. Not bad, though. And we're probably 2 weeks better off in the pre-season now. So the players can have a fortnight off, come back in, get the engines running and get up to speed for Wolves. My biggest problem was going deep into this tournament, having a couple of weeks off and then not being quite ready or up to speed for Wolves. And you know this Premier League is unforgiving. You know, you lose 1 or 2 games in the first month, you can be out of a title race in fucking August. You know what I mean? So we need to be careful. We do need to be careful. Let me know what you think. You know, what were the positives of the game? What were the negatives of the game? You know, has Pep lost it a little bit, bringing in the old guard again last night? Did he have any other options? Was Nico Gonzalez an option? Why did he not get a game? Should Ryan Cherki have started? Was Savinho on the pitch too long? Is this the new lease of life for Foden? He's looking good. He's scoring goals. He's getting into positions we know we can get in, and he's starting to create stuff. Who starts up front? Big Earl, Mamouche. So there's a lot of things to think about, Blues. Let me know in the comments. I'll get through them at some point and I'll have a read and we'll have a bit of a chat about it. But I just wanted to say, don't panic. You know what I mean? Don't panic. It's disappointing to lose. We know that. Pep's got it under control. the pictures and the video reels we're seeing from America of the playing staff and the coaches all chilling out, enjoying themselves, can only be a good thing. We've had a big team bonding camp. New players have been thrust in together. They're all together. They're training. They're eating together. They're on the beach together. They're having barbecues together. So it looks like a perfect scenario at the minute. You know what I mean? The players are going to go away now, go on holiday, come back, and we've got a big, big season. You know, we said it on the South Stand before, watching Liverpool win the Premier League, it hurts. Listening to their fans singing "Hand It Over Manchester," it hurts. So we need to make sure in May we're singing "Hand It Over Merseyside," because we don't want them retaining it, and we want our Premier League title back, and we want a good run in this Champions League. So we got to keep going. But other than that, you know, I'm trying to be more active. Please support the other channel, We Are the South Stand. Daps is on there doing the morning report. We're getting a good crew of lads on there. If you want to be on the We Are the South Stand channel and you feel like you can offer something and you can actually string a sentence together and you want to talk about City, email wearetheSouthstand@gmail.com. Speak to Daps. There'll be some shows opening up where people can come on. If you've always wanted to do a bit of YouTube but you don't want your own channel, get involved. You know what I mean? Speak to Daps. He's the man. And hopefully, you know, we'll have a couple of weeks break now and we'll keep it moving. When will you next see me? I don't know. When is probably a next bit of news. If City go in the transfer market or there's some big sales, etc., or 115 news breaks, I'm sure you will see me pop up. But at the minute, that was just a little quick video from me. My thoughts on it, saying it's not all that bad. We did get beat. We are disappointed. You never want to lose. The second half did remind me of Wimbledon in the 90s. Long ball up to John Fashanu. They absolutely murdered us. It was a little bit worrying. But on another day, City win that game 5-2, 5-3, and everything's forgotten about. So we're taking it on the chin. The World Club Cup was not ours this year. We've had a good run at it. We've banked 60 million. We've seen the exciting forward line, Cherki, Savinho, Doku, Haaland, Mamouche, Reijnders. So there's a lot to be positive for. So keep the faith, hit the like button, keep it moving. Come on, City. Let's look forward to the new season. Up the Blues.